my name's Kerry and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a first-time mum as of August 2021. I enjoyed watching people's YouTube videos and see their experiences and their advice during my pregnancy. So I'm making this video to share my experience with you. One of the videos I watched the most during my pregnancy was what I packed in my hospital bag, and then the follow-on videos of what they did or didn't use. So I'm excited to share with you what I took to the hospital and what I did or didn't use within my hospital bag or bags. I am just sharing my experience, and it was a short stay in the hospital, which is why I may not have used some bits within my bag. So I will advise if I would pack these items again for a future pregnancy. So as I alluded to, I took more than one bag to the hospital. The first bag I'm going to talk to you about is the bag that I packed for my baby. So this just included like the baby grows and vests and things. So I packed this little bag that was actually really handy. It is a changing bag. It's quite small, but it packed a lot of things in. Unfortunately, I have used it to death, and the bag's starting to fall apart here, so I did have to invest in a new changing bag for day to day. We do have a big rucksack one, but I don't like carrying that around if I'm just nipping out to the shops. But this one was packed to the brim, and I'll tell you what was in there now. I definitely took more clothes than the baby needed. What I did was kept the little plastic bags that the baby grows and vests and things came in, and then what I did was packed newborn baby grows in one, vests in another, and then first size baby grows in another, and 0 to 3 baby grows in another. I didn't need all of that, so I'm going to just run through what I packed. So I had 2 newborn baby grows, and one was a set, so it was a baby grow and a vest, and then one was just a baby grow. I did use both of those in the hospital, so I definitely say to take at least 2 newborn pieces. And then I had 7 up to the size of up to 1 month vests. I went for up to 1 month because I didn't think that she would fit into newborn, but she did, and she fitted into newborn for quite a while. However, those up to 1 month vests, they did fit. Now the reason I took 7 is because they had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday vests in the pack. On hindsight, I shouldn't have bought one like vests with days of the week on, because it meant I had to take all of them because I wanted to put on the day that she was born on to her. So a piece of advice is maybe don't buy anything with days of the week on, because you'll have to take 7 of them with you to hospital. Now I will also have to take those if we have another baby, because I want to have another photo of that baby with a day of the week baby vest on. A newborn hat, it went with the newborn baby grow and vest set that I had. However, for some reason the hat either was really small or her head was really massive, because it didn't fit her at all. So I didn't use that, and I wouldn't take, maybe I would take that one particular hat again in case their head's really small, but I'd probably just pack the hat size that she did fit into for next time. They were 0 to 3 month hats, so I would definitely pack those next time, and I would probably leave out the newborn one. It was pink, so it would also depend on the gender of the baby as well. I had a couple of muslins in there, and I did use one, but I didn't particularly get it dirty or anything. I don't think I really needed it, but I probably would take one again. It just gives you that privacy if you do feel that you want it and you don't want to get up and close the curtain, for example, and you're breastfeeding, or any spit up or anything that happens, you can just wipe it up with a muslin. I took 2 first size baby grows and I didn't use them and they were too big for her. So I probably would pack first size again next time in case the baby, you know, another baby would be a lot bigger. But I probably would just put one in, and then if I needed another one, I'd get someone to bring it in to me. I did also take 2 0 to 3 baby grows, so 0 to 3 months. I wouldn't take them next time. I would only take newborn and first size. The 0 to 3 was massive compared to her, and I wouldn't take them again because we didn't need them for a long time after she was born anyway. I did take a little thin swaddle. I did put it on her because I had it, but I wouldn't take one again. You know, we didn't need it. She didn't particularly take to swaddling even when she was older. It was too big for her as a newborn, so I wouldn't take that next time. We did take a blanket that matched one of her newborn baby grows, so I would take that again as we put her in the hospital cot, and it is sort of a unisex one, so if we have a different gender next time then we can still use it and have sort of the photos to compare. I did take bibs. Why did I take bibs? Who knows, but I wouldn't take them again. So the second bag I packed was a carry-on suitcase. Now a lot of people recommended taking a carry-on suitcase that's on wheels, and that's so that if you did end up having an emergency C-section, or you're just not feeling up to carrying your baby out of hospital, for example, and you've got your hospital bags, the baby, your husband or other half or partner could carry the baby and you could just pull out your wheelie suitcase, which I think was such a brilliant idea, as the first bag, this little one, would have fitted over the handle of the suitcase, so I could have just attached that and pulled it along. So that was such a great idea and really one to take on board. So this suitcase had a mix of the bulkier baby items and bits for myself and my husband. So I took size 1 Pampers new baby nappies. I think I split a pack in half, a big pack that we had ordered, so I probably took about 30 nappies and I think we only used about 5. But I will say that we had a short stay in the hospital, so if we had a longer stay, you know, I would have used more. So just pack however many you think you'll need. But I have seen people also putting in their partner's cars or whatever car that you go into hospital, like a spares bag. So you could put potentially, you know, 5 in your suitcase and free up room so that you don't have to take a separate bag of baby clothes, and you can just get your partner to go out to the car to grab some more, which is also a really good idea. I did take bottles of ready to feed, ready-made formula, so that they've got the formula already in the bottles and they have the teats that you attach to feed the baby. I didn't use any of these and I didn't store them properly after birth, so I ended up just having to throw them away. They are handy in case your milk doesn't come in, but what the midwife said to me was as soon as your placenta is delivered then it will start coming in, so we didn't really need to use that. We just kept putting her on the breast, but obviously we had decided to breastfeed. If you haven't decided to breastfeed, then those ready-made bottles are such a brilliant idea, and you may also want to take bottles if you need them. I also took cotton wool, which I didn't use and I didn't need, so I wouldn't take that again. I took baby wipes for nappy changes that are 100% water, fragrance free and all that, so we use those instead. I took the baby's red book, which you're advised to take with you. So we did take the baby's red book, but I don't believe anyone wrote in it, but it is something to have in your bag. Also on the front of the carry-on suitcase was a zip pocket, which I added in face masks, so that we had them there handy, you know, going into labour. You don't have to search around for a face mask. I took 2 pairs of pyjamas, which I'm glad I did. I took 1 shorts and button-up top, and I'm glad I took those as I felt more comfortable in the shorts and the top. I did, however, bleed through because I didn't change soon enough. I didn't quite understand the blood loss after birth, being my first experience. So then I did have to put on a button-up nightie that I had, and I didn't feel as confident in the button-up nightie as I did when I had shorts on, so that's something to bear in mind. I guess it also depends on the length of the nightie, but it wasn't very long and I just felt more comfortable in the shorts. So next time, if I'm going to take 2 pairs of pyjamas, I would take either shorts or trousers with a top and not a nightie. However, I did sort of think I'd be giving birth in a nightie, which all of that didn't happen. So, you know, you might want a nightie for giving birth in, but I didn't have a chance to do any of that thing anyway, which you'll see in my birth video. I took maternity pads. They gave me 1 at the hospital for after birth, and then I just used my own. I'm sure I could have asked for more, but I had them in my bag, so I used those. Breast pads, I did use those, took quite a lot. Probably didn't need as many as I had because I wasn't leaking. I don't really leak that much, thankfully, so just be mindful how many you're packing in, maybe to free up a bit more space. I took a towel. I didn't use it. The midwife that ran me a bath in our ensuite after birth, she put lots of towels in there, and to be honest, I was bleeding and I thought I might as well bleed over their towels, even though I took a towel that I knew I wouldn't ruin and I wouldn't worry if I did ruin it. But I would take it again in case I had to stay in longer and have showers in the hospital. So that's something to bear in mind. I took 2 coming home outfits. I say outfits, they were just clothes that I could wear. So I took a dress, and then I took some really comfy maternity joggers and a top, and I ended up wearing the maternity joggers and a top home. So next time I would only pack 1 coming home outfit, and it would be something comfy like joggers and a top. I took a wash bag and it was full of bits, shower gels, toothbrushes, toothpaste. I brought new toothbrushes and a spare little mini toothpaste. I took Vaseline for dry lips in labour and all, you know, all that sort of thing, and I didn't use any of it. The midwife advised not to use soap down there, and because I was having a bath I didn't want to risk it all getting embroiled, so I didn't use any of that, which meant I forgot about some important items that I had packed in that wash bag. So things like the Lancino nipple cream, I probably would have used that if I'd remembered that I had it. And I also had the My Expert Midwife Spritz for Bits, and I would have used this if I remembered that I had it in my bag. So also the other thing that I did use and would take again and wouldn't be without one after birth is your peri bottle. So perfect for when you go to the toilet, because you don't want to be wiping paper down there, especially if you've got stitches. So I'd highly recommend getting a peri bottle if you haven't already. I took flip-flops. I didn't use the flip-flops because what I wore into the hospital were these sandals, and they're uber comfortable, and because I had them out I ended up wearing these to the bathroom. Obviously I didn't have a shower or anything because I wasn't in there long enough, so I possibly would either wear flip-flops into the hospital next time if it's warm enough, or I would just take these. I don't think I would worry about flip-flops, or I might just leave them in the car in case I wanted them. I didn't take anything to wash my hair. As you can tell, it's like messy curly hair, so I just took hair ties in case I wanted to tie it up in labour, or if I'd stayed in there longer and it got greasy or anything, I would have just tied it up in a bun. I took a change of clothes for my partner. It would depend if we were still, hopefully not, living in pandemic times, as he, after a couple of hours after labour, was sent home. So I didn't need a change of clothes for him because he went home and had a shower, changed his clothes, and he wasn't actually allowed back until his COVID test came back negative. And it took quite a while for his to come back. So mine came back that I was negative quite soon. I don't know if they prioritised the ladies' COVID tests first, or if they just didn't want as many people in the hospital. So he was at home getting changed, having the time of his life, having a nap after being awake all night. So potentially next time I would still take a change of clothes in case, but I didn't need them this time. Highly, highly, highly important. The next one is your phone charger. Don't forget your phone charger. If you've got a spare one, pop it in your bag and just leave it in there. Where I was on my own, I used my phone a lot to keep in contact with my husband, sending pictures, phone my family on video, because I was on a ward on my own for quite a while. If I was with other people on the ward, I probably wouldn't have made so many phone calls. So that's one thing to bear in mind. Now the third bag that we took was like a snack bag with drinks and a water bottle. So I had an empty water bottle. In hindsight, I probably should have filled it up before we left home. However, it all came on very quickly, which you'll see in my sort of labour story video. So in hindsight, I would have kept it out and filled it up with water and before we left for the hospital, so that I had it there, but it was empty, which my husband did manage to fill up after I'd given birth, because it was all very quick. So might be worth leaving your water bottle on top your labour bag ready so that you fill it up before you go. And the rest of the snacks, I did eat a couple of bits, but the hospital also give you sort of lunch and dinner. I was there for lunch, and the hospital food was fine. I just had a jacket potato and cheese, which you can't go wrong with as long as the potato's cooked and soft. So it's up to you whether you want to pack some snacks or not. I think a lot of the pandemic, it's a bit of a scary time as to whether you could leave the hospital and where you could get food, etc. But obviously they will make sure that you're fed if you're allowed food. I hope that I haven't missed anything that I packed, but if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. And the only thing that I didn't end up taking were disposable briefs. So I bought these in the hope of taking them with me. However, I saw on someone's video to try them on before you go, and they didn't actually fit me. And that is everything, I believe. And my little one's just woke up from a nap. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!